and welcome on in to another episode, Getting Wild with Terry and Friends, MLB Trends and Betting Picks. I'm Terry, ready to break down today's MLB slate. There's quite a few games, or I guess five games here that I really like that I play our props in. So we will go through all of those. Of course, we'll start by taking a look at what happened on the last show on Monday, and we will jump into that right away here. Um, New York Yankees and the Baltimore Orioles. Gunnar Henderson cashed us the over 1.5 bases on a home run, which he it's kind of cooled off here the rest of the week, but he was hot there at the end of last week. And that's the thing is people are going to go through stretches where they are red hot and then they'll go ice cold. So that's how it goes. Mountcastle, unfortunately, lost. He's been a tough guy for me to get right so far this season. Jacob Young over 1.5 bases plus 210. He got one hit, one base. That kind of sucked. CJ Abrams hit a home run, so he cashed the plus 160 there with a home run during that game. Washington Nationals, one of my premium plays that I gave out on the show, was a nice winner. They took care of business against this awful Miami Marlins team. Nick Senzel had a couple really good chances for a home run. Couple really hard hit balls. Unfortunately, it did not cash. Willie Castro over 1.5 bases. He got one hit, but not two bases, unfortunately. So a loser there. And then Alec Boehm struggled in the series against the Angels. He'd been doing really well previous to that, but for some reason struggled against the Angels in this series. We'll see how he does in the new series that the Phillies are starting today. We will jump right into the first game that we're going to be talking about on today's slate, which is between the Baltimore Orioles and the Cincinnati Reds here. In this one, we'll see what the chat says. Hello, Nicholas. How's it going? Baltimore minus 105 to plus 107. Cincinnati minus 110 to minus 122. Nines right across the board here in this game. On the mound for Baltimore is Cole Irvin, 2-1 with a 3.49 ERA and 5 starts. He's won back-to-back starts and pretty good results. Back-to-back wins, 4 hits in each game, no earned runs in each game, going 6.2 innings and 7 innings. So he has had 2 very good starts. They are against Kansas City and Oakland. So that is something to keep in mind here. Now heading to Cincinnati, which I wouldn't say is far better team than those other teams, but Cincinnati's park is obviously a hitter's park, and there's more likely to be some runs here on Irvin today. For Cincinnati, Hunter Green on the other side, coming off a very good start against Texas. Getting the win, 7 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 walk, no earned runs, 6 strikeouts. Gave up some runs in his start against Philly before that, and then a pretty good start against Seattle before that. So Hunter Green has been pitching not too bad overall recently. And for this game, he's hot again. Spencer Steer, over 1.5 bases, minus 105. He after a really hot streak to start the season, obviously went cold there, and now he's red hot again. So we'll be taking Spencer Steer in this game. Hits in 4 straight games, multiple bases in 3 games in a row. He's got an RBI in 3 of his last 4 games. He scored a run in back-to-back games and a home run in his last game. He is 1-for-1 against Irvin. So we'll take Spencer Steer here to get multiple bases in this game. Right now for Baltimore, Adley Rutschman is the most consistent player for the Orioles right now. Hit in 12 of his last 13, multiple bases in 4 of his last 6. But Baltimore's, I don't want to say their offense is getting cold, but a lot of players aren't as consistent as they were last week. Lean Reds first 5 and over, but pass. Yeah, when it comes to the side or total here, definitely a pass for me. And to be honest, the only side I have is on the site, premium play on my only premium play on the site, because I'll be giving out my NHL one on the NHL show, but not a lot of sides for me today. So just that one that's available on the site. Going on to our next game, which isn't my favorite game of the night, but I do have multiple plays here in this game. There is another game we'll talk about later, which will shock everybody to hear what my favorite game is. Detroit Tigers and New York Yankees here in this one. Detroit plus 130 to plus 142. Yankees minus 154 to minus 162. 7.5. It looks like there's an 8 available at PointsBet if you're interested in the under in this one. And I'm not interested in the under. On the Detroit side, Reese Olson, 0-4 and 5 starts, a 3.18 ERA. So he hasn't necessarily been pitching awful. If you look at his last 4 starts, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 6 hits, 1 earned run. So he hasn't necessarily been pitching awful. It's just not getting much run support from the Detroit Tigers when he's on the mound. Marcus Stroman on the other side, uh, he's starting to get hit a little bit here. On his last 3 starts against Toronto, 6 hits, 2 earned runs. Oakland, 7 hits, 3 earned runs. And in his last game, 6 hits and 4 earned runs and 5 walks against Milwaukee. So Stroman, after starting the season lights out, he's starting to come back down to earth a little bit here in this game. And for me here in this one, Riley Green, over 1.5 hit, run, or RBIs, plus 105. The reason why we are doing that is, let me bring it up here. Riley Green, a run in 3 of his last 5 games, a hit in 9 of 10, a home run in 2 of his last 3, multiple bases in 3 games in a row, an RBI in 3 of 4. So he's kind of cashing everything right now. When you look at it, he's cashed the over 1.5 hit, run, RBIs in 4 of his last 5 games. So instead of messing around with multiple bases and that kind of stuff, we're just going to go with the over 1.5 hit, run, or RBI. He just needs to get 2 of one of those 3 things. So we'll see if he can do that there. And then Juan Soto, over 1.5 bases, plus 135, and a home run, plus 440. Soto has a hit in 10 straight games, a home run in 1 of his last 3, multiple bases in 2 of his last 3. But he's enjoyed facing Reese Olson. He's only had 2 at-bats against him, but both were home runs. So we'll go with the Yankees' most consistent hitter right now. We'll take him to get multiple bases and to hit a home run, plus 440 here in this game. I should also clarify, all player props are half units. So it doesn't say it on the screen there, but all player props are half units for me. I changed that about a week or so ago. So half unit for all player props, unless it says the quarter unit for home runs. Motor City Kitties, first 5 plus 130. Use them as your DraftKings up 2 runs promo as well. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. Like I said, a nod really big on sides today. It's tough slate for sides, in my opinion. Good morning, Terry. Good morning. I hope all is going well. But we will move on along to the next game that we're going to be talking about. The Texas Rangers and the Kansas City Royals. Texas minus 110 to plus 102. Kansas City minus 110 to minus 120. Nines right across the board here in this one. On the mound for Texas is Michael Lorenzen. 2-1 with a 4.24 ERA in 3 starts. Won his first 2 starts against Detroit and Atlanta, and then a pretty rough start there in his last game against Cincinnati. 6 innings, 6 hits, 5 earned runs, and 1 walk. So got lit up a bit there. in his last start. And then Brady Singer on the mound for Kansas City. Um, he's kind of up and down. Rough start against Toronto, 5 hits, 5 earned runs, 3 walks. His last start is against Detroit, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks. He seems to be walking guys. 3 walks in each of his last 3 starts, 5 to 6 strikeouts in each of his last 3 starts. So he is striking guys out, but he's starting to walk some guys, which could lead to trouble against this Texas Rangers offense. For me here, I'm taking Nathaniel Lowe over half a run, plus 115 here in this game. Lowe has a run in 4 of his last 5 games. He's got a hit in 6 of his last 7 games, multiple bases in 3 of his last 4. He is 2 for 8 against Singer with a home run. Why am I doing this with the run? Because especially with the way Singer's walking guys as well. Um, Instead of taking the multiple bases, if he scores a run, you cash this bet as long as he scores a run. Um, he's projected to be in between Corey Seager and Adolis Garcia there in the 3rd spot. So that would be a great spot for him there. I just think it's a better way to go here with the run, plus 115, which is a great price here against Singer. I am thinking Braves or Mets for your DK promo. Okay, okay. I know somebody else that likes the Mets for the DK promo, so best of luck. Texas minus 102. I can't. This is one where I kind of was looking a little bit towards Kansas City, but then yeah, I ended up staying off. So a tough one when it comes to a side. Hey Terry, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Storage Club. Hope all is going well. But we will move on along to our next game here, which is between the Boston Red Sox and the Minnesota Twins. Boston minus 105 to plus 112. Minnesota minus 111 to minus 125. Eights right across the board here in this game. And the Minnesota Twins have won 10 games in a row, and they're just finding ways to win games. Moving up the standings for Boston, Tanner Houck on the mound, 3-2 with a 1.6 ERA and 6 starts. So he's pitched very well for Boston this year. Not necessarily someone I really want to bet against. However, we'll get to that in a couple seconds here. On the other side, Chris Paddock on the mound for the Twins. 2-1 with a 5.88 ERA and 5 starts. His last start against the Angels, he won, but gave up 8 hits, 4 earned runs. Previous start before that, he was completely lights out. 7 innings, 6 hits, no earned runs, no walks, 10 strikeouts in a win. However, that was against the White Sox. So you always have to look when teams are completely shutting down the White Sox. A lot of teams tend to shut down the White Sox. Ultimately, in this game, we're going with Willie Castro. Over 1.5 hit, run, or RBI at plus 110. Yes, Tanner Houck has been pitching very well for Boston, but I cannot ignore the stats here. Willie Castro has been one of the Twins' most consistent players recently. A hit in 13 of his last 14 games, a run in 4 of his last 6, multiple bases in 5 of his last 6, an RBI in 6 of his last 8. And when you look at all of them combined, he has at least multiple hit, run, or RBIs in 7 of his last 8 games. So he has cashed this play in 7 of his last 8 games. When you look at what he's done against Tanner Houck, 2 for 3 with a double and a home run. Tanner Houck might be pitching well right now, but Willie Castro's had his number in the past, and Willie Castro is on fire right now. So we'll take him here at plus 110 to get multiple hit, run, or RBIs. combined here in this one. Red Sox, first five, minus 115. 10 wins in a row versus White Sox, LA, and White Sox. True, some weak opponents, but they still found a way to win 10 games in a row. I like what I'm seeing from the Red Sox lately. Yeah, just a heavily injured team. They found they've just got had a lot of injuries, but yeah, not playing horrible recently. When I do look at this side here, I would definitely lean with Boston here in the spot. They definitely have the pitching advantage. Um, definitely don't want to trust Paddock, and that's why I'm not on the Twins. But I could see the Twins winning this game, so just going to go with Willie Castro here in this one. But time to move on to my favorite game of the night, which is between the Miami Marlins and the Oakland Athletic. I know, what is wrong with me? Miami plus 120 to plus 129. Oakland minus 140 to minus 150. 7.5s right across the board here in this game. So we've talked about Miami on the show multiple times. Just they're awful. They're absolutely awful. And they shouldn't be a favorite against anybody. They aren't a favorite in this game. They're a dog. Then we've got Oakland on the other side, who has exceeded my expectations this year at 15 and 17. They're not doing too bad. Um, only 2 games below 500 at this point. Miami on the other side, 9 and 24, just awful, awful. Ryan Weathers on the mound for Miami, 2-2 with a 4.55 ERA. Has given up 5 to 6 hits in his last 3 starts, 3 to 6 earned runs in his last 2, 3 walks in back-to-back starts. He's not been pitching too well for Miami. On the other side, JP Sears, who was lights out for a few starts in a row, and then faced the Orioles in his last game. 6.1 innings, 8 hits, and 7 earned runs. Just an awful start against Baltimore. He'll be looking to bounce back here against Miami, which very well could happen here. Obviously, I'm not on a side here. We're going with two players, 3 different props. Abraham Toro over 1.5 bases, plus 145 in this game. He has multiple bases in 3 games in a row, a hit in 6 games in a row, an RBI in 2 straight, a run in 3 straight. He does have a home run in his last game. So Abraham Toro hitting the ball very well. He has never faced Ryan Weathers. Neither of these batters have faced Ryan Weathers yet, but there's still a reason why I like him. Tyler Nevin, a run in 3 of his last 4, a hit in 9 games in a row, a home run in 3 of his last 4 games, multiple bases in 4 in a row, and an RBI in 4 games in a row. Tyler Nevin is just smashing the ball right now, scoring everything you could need him to score, and just a bright spot for this Oakland Athletics team right now. His home run at plus 700 when he's done it in 3 of his last 4 games. Absolutely. And why do I also like these 2 players? While they may not have faced Weathers before, but both of these players happen to be the Athletics' most hottest hitters right now. But they also happen to lead the team against left-handed pitchers. Tyler Nevin, 3 home runs and a 333 average against lefties. Abraham Toro, 1 home run and a 324 average against lefties. So both of these players hitting the ball very well right now, lead the team against left-handed pitchers. Weathers is struggling on the other side. Ultimately, that makes this my favorite game, which I know is shocking because when I looked at this slate, I wouldn't have guessed that Miami and Oakland is my favorite game, but it is what it is. Yes, the marquee matchup. Ride the Wave minus 130. I cannot lay minus 130 with Oakland, but yes, I do think they win this game. And maybe you work them into a parlay somehow. You could do that, but yeah. Terry started drinking early today. No, definitely not. But yeah, you could guess that with this being my favorite game. A bad spot. They traveled from Miami to Oakland with no rest. A bad spot for Miami as well. That's awesome. I love to hear it. Sounds good. LOL. Yeah, basically. One last thing. Miami is last in MLB versus left-handed pitchers the last 30 days. So Nick's trying to talk me on to Oakland here. Okay. Well, it's not obviously very difficult to do, but yeah, maybe I'll work Oakland into a parlay somehow. What do you think about double results, Tampa versus the Mets? I cashed double results with the Guardians and Astros yesterday. Um, so like you, my or the Mets to be leading at 5 innings and then win the full game. Is that what you're looking at? Um, yeah, I would. I obviously we know I don't really touch the Mets, but it does look like a good spot for them here. So I want to talk you off that. Oakland run line is the move. Very possible. What are we looking at for Oakland run line? Plus 150 to plus 160. Ooh. The issue is what kind of JP Sears are we going to get? Because, and what Nick is saying about Miami struggling against lefties, that kind of makes me want to jump on here. Um, but I'm just not sure what we're going to get from Sears. So, no. Oh, Tampa Bay first five and the Mets to win. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know. Nick says that the Rays win today and Mets win tomorrow. Okay, interesting. I would think maybe it's the other way around, but um, picks and parlays exclusive play. As I said, I have one side which is in the on the site, which is in the description below. There is one game that we didn't talk about that I will definitely have plays in if he is in the lineup, and that is Danny Jansen for the Blue Jays. A home run in 3 of his last 4 games, cashing hits, runs, bases, RBIs, everything. But isn't listed right now at any books to be in the lineup. So we'll have to see. Knowing John Schneider, Danny Jansen probably won't be in the lineup today because Schneider is the worst manager in the MLB, which makes it extremely difficult to be a Blue Jays fan with that clown as manager. So most likely, Danny Jansen won't be in the lineup. If he is, I will be taking Danny Jansen props against Patrick Corbin. There was a couple other players I wanted to talk about. Bobby Witt Jr. is on a heater right now for Kansas City. He's 0 for 5 against Lorenzen, so I ultimately stayed off there. Jaron Duran, run, hit, multiple bases, and RBI in 4 of his last 5 games. So he's doing really well for Boston right now. Issue is his props are pretty pricey, so stayed off there. Kyle Tucker has been doing absolutely phenomenal right now for Houston. Um, I won't go over all his stats there, but you can see it in the description, the spreadsheet in the description below. He's 5 for 9 against George Kirby. The thing is George Kirby has been lights out. I think 3 starts in a row here. He's been really, really good. So ultimately, I stayed off that one, but something I was looking at. Andrew Benintendi for the White Sox hits Sonny Gray very well. Sonny Gray is doing awesome. 3-1 with a 1.16 ERA. So ultimately, I'm staying off there. I did kind of look at the White Sox as maybe if I was going to do the DK promo up 2 runs. My gut's telling me that the White Sox, the biggest dog on the board, the White Sox, might possibly be live today, but I don't have the guts to put on it. And That's basically it. If you want to look at what other players are doing well for any of the other games, you can find them in the spreadsheet, which is in the description below. So make sure to check that out. Hockey show will be in a few minutes. So definitely tune into that. Mets bullpen tax after 11 inning game yesterday. No Diaz, no Garrett. They both went multi innings yesterday. Okay, so stay out. Maybe stay off the Mets full game. I won't even. Yes, IceX is correct in calling Nick a clown. I condone that comment. But that is today's show. We'll see you guys in the hockey show in about 3 minutes. Thanks for watching, guys. Best of luck today.